Fancy a pint? Pubs have been a part of British culture for thousands of years and have been at the heart of community life. From the alehouses of Roman times, commonly referred to as tabernae, pints have been shared between friends, Romans and countrymen. There is not much archaeological evidence of these early taverns, however drinking vessels have been found. Centuries of pints later have led us to the reign of King Henry VIII, where taverns and alehouses became known as public houses, or pubs for short. Many a pint were consumed under King Henry VIII's badge of the Rose and Crown, which is a common pub sign in modern times. The public house, or social house as it was sometimes referred to as in the 1920s, became a social point for a variety of clubs and social activities in World War II. Pubs were deemed a necessity for keeping up the morale of a nation at war. Skipping forth to the swinging 60s with 75,000 pubs across the UK, from pints of lager to fancy cocktails, people really knew how to have a good time. So why do people go to the pubs? Maybe it's the drinks, maybe it's the social element, maybe the humdrum of everyday life. Needing to delve deeper, I thought I'd ask the question, who better to ask than some local pub-going punters? In one sentence, can you summarise why do you or do you not go to the pub?
I go to the pub to relax and to see my friends.
I go to the pub to socially interact with local people and also to see music and live sport.
I like to go to the pub to socialise with friends.
I'll probably go to the pub because of like the atmosphere, I'd say.
I go to pub for the social aspects.
How would you spend an evening besides going to the pub?
Probably quite boring on the sofa watching telly.
In the summer months, usually go down to the beach, or in the winter months, usually spend it at home watching TV.
Decide to go to a restaurant with my partner.
Probably in bed or like with my family, just chilling, watching Netflix.
I would probably spend it at home with my family.
Do you think pubs are an important part of community life?
Very important. I think the actually community does actually build in the pub. We've met our best friends in the pub. Can I actually say hello to Joe, Joyce, Phil, Angie? We love you.
I do believe that they're an important part of the community life. I think they're the hub for everyone to meet socially and interact, and you make friends and acquaintances.
I think pubs are an important part of community life and also the economic situation as well.
Yeah, I would say so. Socialising and the atmosphere, and you get to see your friends. Yeah.
Yes.
Pubs have been at the heart of British culture for many generations, but what about young people? With an attitude towards healthy living and eco-friendly lifestyles, are young people propping up the bars up and down the countryside? Are they whooping up in their local pubs, or are they climbing Snowdonia? Are they living at large, or are they counting their steps? Are they dancing to sunrise, or are they waking up to it? Let's ask them, how often do you go to the pub?
I would have to say probably once or twice a week.
For me personally, I don't really like going to the pub very often. I probably go once every 3 months. It's just not really my scene.
No, not particularly. Although I used to go to the pub.
I don't go to the pub. I think that can be inferred. I've been in a pub a few handful of times across my life, but I've never been the one to kind of go out there on my own or even be the person to kind of go with a group of people to kind of go to the pub.
What is the main reason you do or do not go to the pub?
I'd probably say as a uni student, a lot of people, meet at the pub to catch up or to socialise with other uni students. So I think it's just because it's a place where we can all gather and have a couple of drinks or have some food and just chat, play card games or whatever.
I think the main reason why I don't really like going to the pub is because they can be very loud, people can get quite aggressive, everyone's drinking, and I personally prefer a more quiet and intimate setting for social events.
When I was a little younger, I used to drink quite a lot. And when I was younger, I didn't really deal with hangovers so much. And I don't think I would nowadays, had my vertigo gotten in the way. So I have an imbalance in my ears, and when I get hungover, I become very prone to vertigo episodes. So I would rather not get drunk than deal with that every time I did get drunk, because even now the slightest hangovers that I do get often span into vertigo episodes.
My reasons for not really being interested in going to the pub, or not going at all, is kind of like, it's difficult to say. I feel like I don't really have like a strong emotional disdain for the pubs. I feel like, for one, if you're going to go to the pub, you've probably fallen into the kind of crowd that like to go to the pub, which is not a good or bad thing really. It's just kind of what you like to do with your weekend. I think the other reason is just also that I don't drink. I'm sure if I drinked way more, then I feel like it would kind of come attached with that by proxy. But overall, it's just not something that I personally really gravitate towards, and it's not really something that a lot of people I know really gravitate towards either, which I think is a contributing factor.
And what is your favourite weekend activity?
Probably going out, probably going pub and going out. Again, as I'm a uni student, that's what most people my age sort of want to do, and that's just why we end up going out. But yeah.
For me personally, I prefer to do really chilled things on the weekends. Like, I love to go for long walks, picnics, movies. That's sort of the things that I like to do on the weekends.
I like to write a lot, and I find myself writing and drawing pretty much all the time I can get. So definitely when it's a weekend and there's nothing to do, I find myself writing and drawing for passion projects, world building experiments, tabletop games, songs. I find myself writing and drawing and generally being creative a lot. So I'd say that is my favourite weekend activity.
I think I have like a good mix of things I like to do kind of on my own and with people. I watch a lot of films. I'm a big film guy. I just love watching films. I love watching TV shows as well. I think having a good like show, a story to kind of chip away at like, in my downtime is something I personally really enjoy. It gives me a lot of fulfillment. I'm trying to get more into reading as of late. I kind of struggle to read during the day, so I like to kind of finish my day off with just kind of chipping away at a chapter that I'm reading in the book I'm reading before I go to bed.
Despite the rise in healthy living, the young and old still frequent their local pubs, from young families with their baby in arms to wheeling in Granny for her Sunday lunch. From celebrating the wetting of a baby's head to the mournful wake of a loved one's passing. People gather in times of happiness and in times of sadness, to laugh and to cry, to reminisce and to make new memories. It is because of this sense of community and a place of gathering that the local pub will never die out. Friends always come together to celebrate life's occasions, big and small, until it's time to go home at the end of the night.